Dried figs, a sweet journey through history, health and taste. An ancient fruit, rich in beneficial properties and a key part of age-old traditions. In this video, we'll explore the world of dried figs, uncovering their secrets and interesting facts. From their cultivation in ancient Egypt to modern tables, dried figs continue to fascinate us with their versatility and deliciousness. Get ready to be surprised by a fruit that has traveled through the centuries, carrying with it a wealth of flavor, well-being and tradition. A unique sensory experience, ready to be discovered. Join us on this fascinating journey to discover dried figs. The history of dried figs goes way back. We think people started growing them in the Middle East over 7,000 years ago. Figs became really important, a regular part of what people ate back then. Egyptians, Greeks and Romans all loved figs. They thought figs were symbols of having lots of babies and lots of food. Dried figs were super important. Because they lasted a long time, people could always have them to eat. People carried dried figs on ships all across the Mediterranean Sea. Figs grew really well in places like Italy and Spain. Figs were valuable because they were tasty and kept people from being hungry, so they spread all over the place. People have been drying figs for a long time. This easy way of storing them meant people could eat figs all year round. Dried figs became a common ingredient in lots of different kinds of food. From way back when to the Middle Ages, dried figs were a favorite. Because they didn't cost much, everyone could enjoy them. They were even called poor man's bread. Today, people still love dried figs. You can find them all over the world in old-time recipes and new ones. Figs have been around for a long time because they are tasty and good for you. Dried figs are much more than just a sweet treat. They are a real goldmine of essential nutrients for our well-being. Rich in fiber, they are a valuable ally for digestive health, promoting regularity and fighting constipation. Their high potassium content makes them ideal for keeping blood pressure under control, a crucial factor for cardiovascular health. Calcium, a key component of bones and teeth, is present in significant quantities in dried figs, helping to keep them strong and healthy. But that's not all. Dried figs are also an excellent source of antioxidants, substances that fight free radicals, responsible for cell aging and numerous chronic diseases. Choosing to eat dried figs means taking care of your body completely, bringing a series of tangible benefits. Besides the nutrients already mentioned, dried figs offer additional benefits for our bodies. Iron, a key part of hemoglobin, is present in good amounts, helping to prevent and fight anemia. Vitamin K, essential for blood clotting and bone health, is another valuable element found in dried figs. Finally, magnesium, a mineral involved in many vital functions, including muscle regulation, nerve transmission, and energy production, completes the nutritional profile of this amazing fruit. Regularly eating dried figs, even in small amounts, can help improve our overall well-being, providing a boost of health and vitality in every bite. A small daily habit for taking care of yourself naturally and deliciously. Dried figs hide a world of interesting facts that make them even more fascinating. Did you know that figs don't grow on trees like most other fruits? The fig plant, called Ficus carica, produces a special flower cluster called a syconium, inside which the flowers develop and then turn into fruits. Another interesting fact is about pollination. Figs, in fact, depend on a specific insect for their reproduction, the Blastophagosines, commonly known as the fig wasp. This tiny wasp, attracted by the smell of the fig, enters it to lay its eggs, carrying with it the pollen needed for fertilization. This natural process is as unique as it is essential for the survival of both species, a perfect example of a symbiotic relationship. A fascinating story hidden behind the sweetness of a dried fig. The soothing qualities of dried figs made them a great remedy for sore throats. They were eaten as they are or used to make teas and infusions. Skin irritations also found relief thanks to the application of dried fig poultices. Mucilage, a substance found in abundance in these fruits, created a protective barrier on the skin, promoting healing and relieving itching. Today, even though modern medicine has come a long way, Dried figs continue to be appreciated for their beneficial properties, representing a natural and tasty alternative for taking care of your health. Dried figs, with their intense sweetness and soft texture, have earned a place of honor in culinary traditions all over the Mediterranean. Especially during holidays, these fruits, symbols of abundance and prosperity, enrich tables with their versatility. In Italy, each region boasts its own specialties made with dried figs. In Sicily, panica musa is an irresistible dessert that features dried figs as the undisputed star, along with honey, walnuts, and orange zest. In Puglia, bocconotti are small pastry shells filled with a delicious mixture of dried figs, almonds, and spices. But treats made with dried figs aren't just for the Christmas season. Throughout the year, these delicious fruits lend themselves to the creation of traditional cakes and desserts passed down through generations. A culinary heritage rich in flavor and history that celebrates the genuine goodness of the earth's products. Besides their role in cooking, dried figs have gained a deep symbolic meaning in many Mediterranean cultures over time. Since ancient times, they have been associated with abundance, fertility, and prosperity. In farming traditions, giving dried figs as a gift was a good omen for a plentiful harvest and a prosperous year. Even today, in some areas, people hang fig branches decorated with dried figs during the Christmas holidays as a symbol of good luck and prosperity for the new year. Dried figs, with their ancient history and deep meaning, continue to fascinate and delight people all over the world. A precious gift from nature that combines taste, tradition, and well-being in a single extraordinary fruit. When it comes to choosing dried figs, there are a few tips that can help us bring home a quality product. The first thing to look at is the appearance. Dried figs should be soft to the touch, with an intact skin and free of cracks or suspicious spots. The color can vary depending on the variety, from light brown to deep black, passing through amber and purple shades. A darker color does not necessarily denote a higher quality, but simply a different variety or a different degree of ripeness at the time of drying. Another aspect to consider is the smell. Good quality dried figs give off a sweet and fruity aroma, free from moldy or fermented scents. Finally, it is always preferable to buy dried figs from reliable sources such as specialty stores or local producers, which guarantee the origin and quality of the product. Carefully choosing dried figs allows us to fully enjoy their unique flavor and benefit from their nutritional properties. Section 2. Preserving the goodness storage tips. Once you've bought your dried figs, it's important to store them properly to keep them fresh and flavorful over time. The first tip is to put them in an airtight container. This will protect them from moisture, air, and light, which could make them go bad. Dried figs can be stored at room temperature in a cool, dry place, away from heat and direct sunlight. Alternatively, you can store them in the refrigerator, in the fruit drawer, where they'll stay fresh even longer. A little trick to soften dried figs that are a bit hard is to soak them in warm water for a few minutes before eating them. This simple trick will make them even softer and tastier. With just a few simple steps, we can keep our dried figs in great shape and enjoy them any time of year as a healthy and delicious snack or as a special ingredient to make our recipes even better. Section 1. A modern renaissance: dried figs in contemporary cuisine. Dried figs, once a simple ingredient, are now becoming super popular in modern cooking. Chefs and people who love food are rediscovering how useful they are, putting them in new and exciting dishes that taste amazing and make meals even better. Dried figs aren't just for holiday fruitcakes anymore. Now you can find them in fancy restaurants and cool cafes, adding a bit of sweetness, texture, and class to all kinds of dishes. Their special flavor, like caramel and honey with a little earthy taste, goes great with lots of other ingredients. From snacks to desserts, dried figs make contemporary food a little more elegant and interesting. Imagine taking a bite of crispy flatbread with creamy goat cheese, thin slices of prosciutto, and sweet dried figs with honey drizzled on top. Yum! It's a mix of flavors and textures that will make your taste buds happy. Chefs are finding lots of ways to use dried figs, showing how they can make dishes better with their special flavor and texture. Section 2. From Farm to Table. The versatility of dried figs. The farm-to-table movement, with its focus on fresh, seasonal ingredients, has made dried figs popular again in cooking. People are looking for natural, less processed foods, and dried figs are perfect. Their natural sweetness makes them a great replacement for sugar in baked goods and desserts. They add a lot of flavor and a nice chewiness to cookies, cakes, and energy bars. Because they're so sweet, you don't need to add a lot of extra sugar, which is good for people who are health conscious. Dried figs are also great in savory dishes, not just desserts. They add a bit of sweetness and interesting flavor to stews and braises. Their soft texture goes well with roasted meats like pork or duck, making the flavors taste really good together. As chefs and home cooks keep trying new things with dried figs, we'll probably see even more yummy ways to use this fruit in the future. Section 1. A timeless delight. Dried figs, a journey through time and taste, have taken us on a fascinating path through history, well-being, and tradition. From ancient Egypt to modern tables, these small fruits have shown their extraordinary versatility, winning over palates and diverse cultures. We've discovered their beneficial properties, a true concentration of health and vitality. We've explored their role in Mediterranean culture, where they are the stars of traditional desserts and symbols of abundance and prosperity. We've learned how to choose them carefully and store them properly to enjoy them any time of year. Dried figs, a precious gift from nature, invite us to rediscover the genuine and authentic goodness of the flavors of the past. Let yourself be captivated by their sweetness and include them in your daily diet for a unique and satisfying sensory experience.